and that we have the audio of that.
Is this the guy that sings this song? Is he the one coming to Lambeau this spring?
No. We cover this ground fairly frequently.
Not everybody listens every day.
AC/DC?
Right, and apparently neither do you. This is Chris Young and Kane Brown.
Yeah, it's a great song. I like it.
Okay.
I was hoping it was up at Lambeau. It's decision-making if I'm going to go get tickets or not.
We'll see what Chris Young, not Chris Brown, very different artist. We'll see what Chris Young's touring schedule is. AC/DC at Camp Randall and Luke Combs
Blue, is Iowa
at
doing
Lambeau
a bunch of
Field.
concerts at their field?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
Farmer of the year
they're
there?
still selling out.
They still.
Yeah.
That's a low blow, Jesse. That is a low blow.
Oh,
It's fair.
yeah.
It is very fair, by the way, but it's a low blow.
Yeah. I am not aware of any concerts at Kinnick at this current stage. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay, if I may, here is what
Blue, how many 100 grand bars did you get over trick or treat? I'm just kidding. Go ahead, Jason.
Tausch would like those if you could ship them to him.
Those are the kids. We got to keep them away because, if not, the kids will wake up early in the morning, come downstairs, grab them, go back up to their rooms early in the morning, and hide them and then eat them at night. It's very.
It's a situation.
That's a cunning plan. Yeah.
Yes, they're very sneaky. Sneaky. So.
Are you the walk around the neighborhood guy, or are you handing out the candy in your neighborhood?
Oh no, we go around.
He's a walk
around.
Yeah, look at him. Great athlete.
Yeah, we go around.
Who mans your front door?
You leave a bowl.
No.
Yes.
Never.
But that's what you do.
Yeah. We leave the candy out. Yeah.
It's terrible.
You trust. You got to
And then
trust.
the fugitive from the law comes and eats all your candy while the ATF is chasing him.
That's true. It's true.
Here, as much as I would love to talk about anything other than Dan Orlovsky's thoughts, we're going to play them anyway. Here is Dan Orlovsky on the Pat McAfee Show talking about the Packers' offensive line.
This team cannot go to the Super Bowl with this offensive line play right now. They can't. They are getting physically beat one-on-one far too often. And I don't know if the quarterback play and decision-making is a little bit attached to that, because that usually is the case. But this offensive line has been suspect all year, and they've skated by with it. Unless it gets better, they're not going to go be who they should be from a team goal perspective.
Now, I would like to get Bryan Bulaga is who I go to for my insights about the offensive line. Another one of Tausch's former teammates, Mike Wall, does a great job as well. Dan Orlovsky is not my go-to. I do think it's worth pointing out he has been an apostle, a disciple, an evangelist for Jordan Love. So you notice in there, you notice he pinned a little bit of whatever Jordan, who's had a great season, by the way.
And he loves Matt LaFleur, too, and almost took a coaching job with him, just for reference point.
Has the offensive line, in your expert opinion, been as bad as was just described by a former quarterback, Dan Orlovsky?
To hear him say all year is a little much. It's a little exaggerated in my opinion. To hear when you say physically beaten in one-on-one matchups all year, that's a little exaggerated. Now, I do think we saw a little bit of a stretch. Obviously, Cleveland with Myles Garrett, we saw some issues, right? There's no doubt about that. I think we saw against Carolina. Who's the name of that big D tackle?
Brown.
I mean, we struggled. We struggled against him. I mean, I'm just gonna be brutally honest. We struggled against him. I don't think we struggled that much. Protecting the passer. I didn't. when you watch it, like you didn't see like guys constantly getting beat one-on-one in pass protection like over and over and over and over again, where you're like, we can't even block these guys. Like we're getting physically outmanned every snap. Like that's not something I saw. Like
or out-schemed, right? And it feel like you got out-schemed a little bit, or didn't communicate some of the inside twisting and stuff like that.
Yes, yeah, like you saw guys like not passing off stunts and getting beat by simple TEs, right? Like that's what I saw. Like I saw a bunch of guys being on different levels and passing off games. Like that's not getting beat physically one-on-one, right? That's a different type of getting beat. So maybe to quarterbacks, that's getting physically beat, like to the physically out. I don't even know what Dan said there, but like it's different for offensive linemen. But I will say this: there has been, as of late, a little bit too much, in my opinion,
leakage
in the leakage in the run and pass. There has been a little bit too much of that, and if you want, like, I'm not going to sit here and say it's been all year because that is a over exaggeration. Like that to me is like
nobody was saying that second half of the Pittsburgh game, FYI. Either,
no,
so
and no one said that against Detroit week 1. No one said that week 2. Like so, like we really have to like that's just inaccurate. But recently, that has kind of been the case. So like if we're going to look back on the last few weeks, that's been the case. And for me, it's not as much the pass game. It's the run game, and Homer got on me last week, Jason, and if you remember when Homer said I don't care about the run game. I'm like, well, what do you mean you don't care about the run game? Like we don't need to run the ball. He's like, I don't care if we did what we did against Pittsburgh. I go, well, what do you mean? Because there's going to be times where we can't do what we did against Pittsburgh, like just throw the ball for 350 yards for 4 touchdowns every game. We can't do that every time. And here we go. And it just happened, right? So, like, that's what I'm kind of saying is that we've seen that trend with the run game in the last few weeks where we're not moving guys off the ball. We're getting too much penetration at the line of scrimmage. We're not able to climb to the second level. And I think maybe that's what Dan needs to be a little bit more specific on if he's talking about the run game. Do I think that the pass blocking is affecting Jordan's decision-making? I don't think so. Jordan threw that ball downfield with no pressure in his face.
Predetermined and just made the throw. Yep.
Yeah. So like I don't know why Dan would say that. Like that's kind of like that's throwing a shot at the offensive line.
I think Jason is saying he's a shill for Jordan. That's what you're saying, Jason, without saying it, right?
Yeah. Well,
you referenced it. You did it for a reason.
You augmented the context as well. I was told that we wanted to play this audio, and I wanted to make sure everyone got a full picture.
Sure.
And that we trust Brian's assessment of
Brian
offensive line play.
Brian watches and breaks down this line a lot more, and Dan does the work. That's why I respect what he does. He does the work.
And he's got 32 teams
Blue,
to think about.
Blue, we've been talking, and there's a lot of fans that are asking, and there was talk of Elgton Jenkins maybe even getting traded, which I thought was absurd, but there were rumors that Tampa called and asked. I think Elgton Jenkins' last year is going to be in Green Bay I think this is it. I don't know if you agree with that or not. How have you assessed his play? Because some of that leakage, in fairness, and he is the captain of that group, he's making the calls. He's saying, we got to pass this off, declaring stuff. Give us your assessment of his play, especially after last week's game.
Yeah, so this is kind of the whole. Like, I don't want to say the issue with moving guys from one position to, like, you move a guy from one guard to the other guard position, especially a guy like him, and he's able to adjust, and he can do that. But when you move guys from one position to the other that have done it in the past, but it hasn't been a full-time job, and now you make it permanent, there is going to be an adjustment period, and I said it from the jump, and I said it because, like, I know the position, you know the position, and you know the guys that have played the position. We've played with guys that were really good at it. It's going to take them more than like 5 or 6 games to get a hold of it. Like it's going to. And his season so far at the position has been up and down. It just has been. It's been up and down. And it is a position that it's a very unique skill set. There's a lot of small details that you have to be really good at from a technique standpoint to be good at it, right? Just to block as a center. And there's a lot of little ins and outs and tricks of the trade that you learn as just taking reps, right? There's just little things that you learn. But then from being able to process all the information as it's happening on the fly and making IDs and adjusting on the fly as the defense is moving and tracking things and you're seeing free runners come through potentially. Maybe that's on, like, again, we're talking about free runners coming through. We don't exactly know the play. We don't exactly know the ID. So I hate to sit here and say that's on Elgton or that's on whoever. Like I'm not going to say that because I don't know exactly. Maybe we could all look at a mic point or we can look at whoever, whatever it may be. I don't know because I don't know the exact player. I don't know the call. It could be it could be someone else. It could be someone else's assignment. I have no idea. But with that, when you're trying to process all this information at once, right, as the center, and you're trying to think of the snap count, and then you're trying to and then the guy next to you is asking you, hey, Elton, what was the call again? What was the call again? And then you're repeating it to him. And then Jordan starts asking you a question, and then you're answering him. Then the snap count's coming, and then that linebacker's moving, and then you're snapping the ball, and then he's hitting it downhill, and you're like, oh my gosh. And then also that 3 tech is slanting to you, and then there's a lot happening at once. And that takes time as a new center to figure that out and adjust your thinking and everything to that. And that happens, as you know, Tausch, in like half a second. Like that, all those things happen, and you have to be ready to adjust. And like, again, we look back at how this all kind of started. This all started in OTAs. Right, like he wasn't there.
Yeah.
Right, he didn't take any of these.
Yep. Wanted some new guarantees.
He didn't take any of these reps, and then he was he was at training camp, but he was hurt, right? And then he missed all that. I don't know how many. What was it, Jason? Like a week and some change or whatever it was. I don't even know. Missed that time, and so all these reps are missed where he could be getting these reps under his belt, and then
Brian,
you just go into the season.
Quick question for you. Was it a mistake to move him? He was an all-pro type left guard. You knew what you had. He wanted, in fairness, we all knew he wanted to move to center. We had pretty good sourcing on that 2 years ago. But he was so good there. He played center, but always kind of as a fill-in. And with all of the things you said, do you think you think Goody miscalculated? Because the Aaron Banks signing so far, it has not been what they had hoped. Doesn't mean it can't be the back end of this season, but he's been injured. It just hasn't been able to be consistent. Did Goody and the staff make a mistake by moving Elgton Jenkins to center and not addressing that position with someone else?
Well, I'll put it this way: it has. I can't say that it's been just like the Aaron Banks signing. I can't say it's been like a mistake yet, right? Like you can't say that yet because there's still time for this thing to come good, right? Like that's what I'm trying to say. Like there is time for it to come good, right? There's still a lot of ball left to be played, but you do look at it hindsight, right, and say what would it have costed to retain, say, Myers. Seeing what he did
less
get,
than $2 million.
Yeah, to retain him.
Should have got him back from the Jets. They were trading everybody yesterday.
Yeah, I mean
that wasn't the craziest thought we had yesterday.
No.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah, so you and then just keep everything kind of the same, right? And leave guys in their
Blue, which O-line was better? If you look at last year compared to now, and you're halfway through the season, which O-line was better?
Last year's line
I agree.
played better.
I agree.
I mean, last year's line played better.
Yeah.
How much of this? So you've got The other part of this, and then I have a note from my guy Seth Walder, who handles Rob Domofsky's bold predictions now. He's the analytics guy.
What a
at
thing
ESPN.
to have on your card. You're Rob's assistant bold director.
I want to share what he sent me because I had asked him. So I want to get to that quickly, though, first. Brian, you've been on offensive lines where you guys had to do a bunch of juggling, right? Where you played next to different guards almost each week, etc. Elgton, in addition to playing a new position, sometimes Banks is there, sometimes he's not. Sometimes he's got Sean Ryan on one side and he's got J-Mo on the other. Other times, Aaron Banks is in there and they're rotating the other guys. That feels like that has exacerbated an already existing challenge for him. And I know it's his job, and I know he's got to come through because those are the expectations. You're out there, do your job. But it does feel like that specifically has been even more problematic because of the guard uncertainty from week to week, and now there's uncertainty again.
I mean, and that's kind of what I got at is, as he's going through his process at the line of scrimmage and he's making IDs and he's because it's like a process when you get up to the line of scrimmage, right? He gets over the ball, his hand goes on the ball, he makes an ID. Normally what happens is Jordan will come up, whether he's in gun, whether he's under, Jordan will say, where are we going? Elgton will then re-identify it so Jordan will hear. And then if Jordan wants to make another check, Jordan will make another check, Elgton will repoint it, and then they're off. Most of the time, though, because we're offensive linemen and we're neurotic, we will all then, because that's how we are, we will then double confirm that. All down the line, and then it gets repassed down the line again.
Triple stamp, yep.
Yes. So that's what Elgton most likely with these guys next to him that are, guys are getting rotated in. Then it's getting reconfirmed again. And with a new center that is also then trying to make sure he's on point with everything, is now triple confirming it again, and Jordan's wanting the football. And now the defense is starting to move after a point has been made. And the defense is now adjusting to a point, right? And they're gonna move, they're gonna play. They're not gonna stand still like statues. And we're seeing guys run through and be, clean runners coming through. It's a point where it could be different guys next to them. It could be that there's a bunch of communication going on and a lot of talk and maybe not a lot of understanding. You know what I mean? There's a lot of talking going on, and no one really knows what's being said, and that could be an issue as well. All
right, I want to blow your mind before we ship you out of here.
Okay.
So, do we all agree? The three of us on the current panel agree that the Packers should have kicked the field goal on 4th and 8 from the 13-yard line, having already lost Tucker Kraft. They are down
with 11 minutes left.
13-7 with 11 minutes left. We all agree the Packers should have kicked the field goal there. Yes?
I'm guessing Seth Walder doesn't, but I 100% do.
Okay.
Yes.
So, again, I am not an analytics aficionado, but according to the analytics for that, the Packers' likelihood of winning percentage with a field goal is 28.7%. Going for it is 30.2%. So by 1.5%, the right call, according to the analytics, is to go for it. And that's what Matt LaFleur did. What does that say to
Analytics
each
doesn't
of
have
you?
to convert a 4th and 8. Analytics just crunches a bunch of numbers. So there is a place. I don't want to act
I was
like,
shocked by that.
I don't want to. You shouldn't be. They're always going to push going to get 7 points instead of 3. That's what this is. If it's 4th and 2, I agree. But first off, who are you playing against? Do they take that into account? Do they take into account that Bryce Young threw for 100 blanking yards and that we are going to get the ball back twice and have opportunities to go score different opportunities? It's different if you're playing the 2000 Rams. You're playing the blanking Carolina Panthers that scored 16 points. So, no. That analytics, stuff it in a blanking locker and shut it. because it's dumb.
So does that analytics tell you, like, if you don't make it, you still have a 30-something% chance of winning the game?
That is not a piece of information that is included,
Okay.
and thanks again to Seth for passing it along. But this
No,
is
I'm
how
just
they
wondering.
decided.
I'm just wondering.
It's a great
It's
question.
like if you don't get it, what is the chance? Like what does the analytics say about winning the game? Like what does that go to? Because it went to 0 at that point. I'm just
They tied the game
not
shortly thereafter.
Yeah, they would have been ahead by 3 if they
Correct.
kicked the field goal.
Or if McManus had made the one field goal he missed. All right, Brian, we've kept you a very long time once again, but we're always smarter because of it. Good luck trying to get good luck getting that candy back out of the kids' bedrooms, please.
Oh gosh. All right, guys, take care.
That is the great Bryan Bulaga. He makes us smarter every Wednesday. We always appreciate the time we get from him, and we always appreciate the support of Grubel Offices. One call, that's all. 414-276-6666. We talked last Friday for our Feel Good Friday about what they did with the Special Olympics and the Bucks and Bobby Portis. Always involved in our communities and always there, one call away if you have been injured in an accident. So hopefully you never make the call, but if you have to, make it. 414-276-6666. Grubel Offices, one call. That's all.